Hey guys, BigStar999 here. Welcome back or welcome to my channel. Today we are on episode 2 of my playing every Zelda game in chronological order series. This has been super fun so far, even though I'm only on the second game of the chronological series, but I have enjoyed it so much this far. If you guys didn't see it, the first video of this series, I played Skyward Sword and I gave my review and all that. Today, we are talking about Minish Cap. Oh my goodness. So this game I actually didn't know very much about, in all honesty. I didn't hear any talk about it. No one that I know has played it, like very low-key, didn't know anything about it. I had faith in what this game could be because some people don't play 2D games or just older games in general. So I was like, okay, it's just not mainstream enough. I'm not gonna automatically assume it's not a good game because nobody I know has played it. Just, you know, I had to keep that in mind. So like I did in the last video, I have to mention I did play this on my Switch. I played it with the, I think it's called the Nintendo Online Expansion Pass. So I was able to play it on my Switch with a handheld Pro controller. Like in the Skyward Sword video, I just want to preface that because that does affect how the controls are and how I interacted with the controls. So let's start out with the first category, controls. Overall, I would probably give the controls about a 6. It was kind of funky. You could tell that this controller wasn't made for this game. So once again, that was a user choice, user error, if you will. But you know, like sometimes I was like, okay, like I'm trying to turn you this way and you're not turning this way, just like turning. I noticed turning Link and moving Link was the main problem in this game. If you were playing with, I believe this game was originally released on the Game Boy. If you were playing with your Game Boy, it was probably much easier and much more straightforward and the controls were probably perfect, but of course, I didn't do that. That would be too easy. So overall, the controls get a 6 out of 10. So the next category is story and lore. The main antagonist, the main bad guy, I don't know if this is a spoiler, but I'm about to say who the main bad guy was, is Vaati. So with the main antagonist being Vaati, that kind of introduces who Vaati is. And I know he's in a few other games, but obviously if you're familiar with the, Zelda franchise, Vaati isn't normally the bad guy. It was interesting to see him and to see how he was created and kind of what made him evil, if you will, and his backstory. So that was interesting in itself. I also wasn't very familiar with the Pickery and the Pickery blade and whatnot. So that I thought that was really cool and really important to this specific game and maybe to games down the line, I just don't know yet. And as well, bonus points, this might be a spoiler, for how Link gets his little green hat at the very end of the game after you beat Vaati. I thought that was all cool, but like I mentioned, this is a different bad guy. This is a different antagonist, so it's not necessarily Ganon related or the most common bad guy and how he got started, It's just, it's a little bit of a twist off the road, taking a different road to the same place, right? So I thought that was cool though. I wasn't like, who the heck's Vaati? Where's Ganon? What's going on? I kind of like that they had a different bad guy because it kind of shows, okay, Ganon's not always destined for evil. He's not always destined to be the power in the Triforce, even though it kind of looks like he is. So overall, I would give the storyline and the lore a 7 out of 10. Like I mentioned, some people might not even find it important who Vaati is and even care about him. So that's why I want to give it this rating, because I feel like you don't necessarily need to play this game to understand any of the other games. You might not even have to play it at all to understand another game. But I personally enjoyed the storyline and repairing the Pickery blade and all the people you met along the way and all that stuff. So personally, I enjoyed it. That's why I give it a 7 out of 10. But just to my understanding, I don't believe that this game needs to be played to understand the lore. Onto the third category, we are talking about gameplay. The gameplay I enjoyed. At first, once again, I haven't heard anything about this game. I didn't know anything about it. Nobody talked about it. So I was kind of like, ooh, the gameplay, I don't know, it might not be very good. But I actually enjoyed it. I thought it was really cute. I thought the graphics were cute and the 2D animation. It was cute. It kind of reminded me of Stardew, if you will, with the 2D and the 8-bit pixelation, and I thought it was cute. I also enjoyed learning who Vaati was and why Vaati was, and learning about the Pickery people, as I mentioned earlier, because I had no idea who those people were. And like I said, I don't know if they will matter in later Zelda games, but it was fun to learn about them. The gameplay regarding enemies was super easy. Like, you didn't need any strategy. You could just walk up to them and start swinging. Except for the ones where you, like Dark Nuts, for example, where you have to jump behind them and then slash at them. Enemies were easy. Bosses, easy. Full disclaimer, I don't know if this is a spoiler, but I did get beat up by the water elements final boss. I'm putting a spoiler warning because editing me will probably put in a clip of me getting beat. I don't even know how to do this. We're dead. We died. That boss did put me in a game over once, so that was just kind of a weird mechanic, like sliding around on the ice. But Vadi, at the end, I got to the third phase of him, and then I died. And then I replayed it, and I was like, if I die again, I'm not playing for the rest of the day. Like, I'll try this again tomorrow. And then I won. But the Vadi final boss, it's tricky. It's not easy compared to all the rest of the enemies in the game and the other bosses. Vadi is definitely the final boss. Also, the Mana Ray boss. That's not easy either, just a warning. So those two bosses and then the final boss, those are definitely a challenge, but everything else is relatively easy. So gameplay, I'll give an 8 out of 10 because it's easy. It's relatively straightforward what you have to do. It's not very confusing. There is a lot of backtracking throughout the dungeons though, so that's why I would dock it 2 points. On to our last category is side quests and side characters. So this game is full of side quests, and I actually, as somebody who normally doesn't do side quests, I dabbled in this game. The side quests were really fun. They were very unique, and there was a lot of them. So one of my favorites, just because of the lore behind it, is you can build a house for these 3 sisters at this inn. The girls' names that you can build houses for are Din, Nehru, and Feore. I was like, whoa! I was streaming, and I was like, why is nobody freaking out about this? They're here, you know? So just because of lore, I was like, I love this side quest. This is so fun. So the side quests I did do, I thought were fun and unique, and they were just very different throughout Hyrule Village. Like, there were so many different options. If you didn't want to do this, oh, there's plenty more. And you can play all the different mini games that are within the shops of Hyrule, so that's cool as well for side quests. The side characters, they didn't have a lot of depth to them. I would say that this game didn't have a lot of like secret hidden depth to it. So the side characters didn't either, which is totally fine. I don't expect that. So I would give the side quests and side characters an 8 out of 10. I thought they were pretty good for what I did do. So with a 6 in controls, with a 7 in storyline and lore, with an 8 in gameplay, and with another 8 in side quests and side characters, total score comes out to 29 out of 40, which is the exact same score as Skyward Sword. So that comes out to about a 72.5%, about a C-. This game, it was pretty good overall. It was just average, in my opinion. I thought you definitely don't have to play this if you want to understand the Zelda lore, but it's a cute game, so if you can, go for it. That's why I feel like it got about an average rating on most levels. I would totally recommend playing it. It's just, you don't need to play it. You don't need to play it to understand Zelda, or to understand Link, or to understand any of the lore. It's just a cute addition. So if you can, please play this game. I think it's super cute and fun and relatively straightforward, and the combat's easy, and the storyline isn't too in-depth. It's definitely good for a second game chronologically after all that's in Skyward Sword, for example. It's definitely good to just relax a little. Except for those few boss battles. As I mentioned in the last video of this series, I am streaming all of the games in the Zelda series. I am currently on Ocarina of Time because the original 4 Swords isn't playable single player, which I was so bummed about. I was looking up online like, hey, I'm trying to play every game. I'm not gonna be a phony and skip out on a game. And there's no way. So maybe later on, if I can find a Zelda player to play it with, I won't be playing that specific game chronologically, and any other multiplayer only games I run into in this series, I won't be able to play those. But I'm definitely gonna try my best. And at some point in time, I will be playing them. I just have to find someone to play them with who enjoys Zelda and whatnot. So I just wanna let you guys know, because I'm on Ocarina of Time. I didn't, not play this game because I didn't want to, or because I didn't like it, or whatever. I just physically couldn't play it. As of filming this, I am currently finishing up Ocarina of Time, and Tears of the Kingdom comes out this Friday. So this series will be paused because Tears of the Kingdom will have all of my attention. So I hope you guys can understand and relate. I will of course be streaming Tears of the Kingdom and uploading videos on it. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe down below, and comment your favorite Zelda game. I love hearing it. I will see you guys in the Ocarina of Time review and or Tears of the Kingdom, whichever comes first. Thank you guys so much for being here. I always appreciate it, especially if you take the time to watch the video all the way through, or, you know, like the video, subscribe, whatever. Like, any action you guys do to help me, I always appreciate so much, and I love you all. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.